Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Diana, and you're watching A Seasoned Mom and an Empty Nest. And today's topic, we're going to talk about why I garden. I have told you in the past that I started gardening in my very early 20s, and it has been off and on for many years. I started back when we moved to Colorado. I started gardening again. And my first year here was a complete disaster, and I've explained that before, and I'll probably go into it again on another video. Last year, I really got serious about it again. I have a reason for that, and it's basically because of my health. So I'm going to give you just a brief backstory about me and dieting. I have to admit, I hate to tell y'all this, but I was one of those who would jump on every fad diet that there was out there to lose weight. And I look back now at pictures of me during this time, and I even wonder, what on earth were you thinking? You weren't even fat. There was nothing wrong with you. Should have just kept on kept on living a normal life, but I didn't. I jumped on every diet that there was possibly out there. And I have this really sweet dear friend, and her name is Joy. And she hates dieting. I mean, I've never met anybody like her. She will not jump on a fad diet. She will not do it. She will not do anything that's restrictive of something that, you should be able to eat, like fruit and certain things like that. But she would do Weight Watchers because she felt that it was very balanced, but she absolutely refused to be on any kind of diet, especially if she felt like it was a fad. She was an exercise maniac. I mean, even to this day, I think she exercises. I do not. I hate it. I despise exercising with every being of my body. I do not like it. However, if it's something normal like going out and just doing normal yard work, mowing, hoeing, raking, all of that, that's fine. I like doing that, but I absolutely cannot stand going to the gym. It's just me. I don't. So I would rather be on a diet, and she would rather exercise. So one day she called me up the end of January of 2016. I still remember. And she told me about a lifestyle change, and she refused to call it a diet, and I understand why, because it truly is a lifestyle change, not a diet. And I listened to her, and I thought to myself, this is crazy coming from a girl who refuses to be on any kind of diet like this. So I thought, okay, I'll try it. And I'll be totally honest with you, I had just sold my coffee shop. I had gained quite a bit of weight because there was lots of scones and lots of donuts and cinnamon rolls and just all kinds of garbage to eat, and I wasn't going to let it go to waste. So I had my fill, not to mention lattes and cappuccinos and brevets. Oh, I was, by the time I sold my coffee shop, I was a miserable, sick individual. And during that time, I started to develop tumors. And these tumors were on the bottom of my feet. And I have a picture here. I'll just let you see real quick. This first photo is of my left foot, and that's the larger tumor. And then the second photo is on my right foot. And they actually was composed of 3 small tumors that were gathered together. And they hurt to walk on. And I've been to the doctor, and the doctor referred me to a podiatrist, and he had me doing compound creams that, insurance won't pay for, hundreds of dollars that we couldn't afford, but out there and tried it anyway, and it did not work. And long story short, I started this diet, and I'll be honest with you, I started it to lose weight. I had no intentions of starting it for any other reason than to lose weight. Even though my friend told me all the benefits of it, I didn't care. I became a chunky monkey, and I was going to get the weight off, and I was going to do it by dieting. I was probably about 3 weeks in to this new way of eating, and I remember very specifically one morning I got out of bed and I got up and I went to the restroom, and on my way back I noticed, well, wait, my feet don't hurt. And they used to tingle. I'd step on the floor and it was like they were asleep, but they weren't. The tingling and the tumor, it felt like I had huge rocks. I was stepping on a huge rock and very sensitive. And I noticed that that wasn't the case this certain morning. And I got back in bed and I flipped my foot over and, pulled it up to me and looked, and those tumors were like half the size. I couldn't believe it. I was like, they shrunk. So probably a week more into this, I felt like somebody flipped a light switch on in my head, and my thoughts were cleared up. The fog lifted, the sluggishness lifted. I no longer felt bloated, and then I realized I didn't even care if I lost weight. I didn't even care. All I could concentrate on was, I have never felt this good. And ever since then, I try to stay on it, and I fall, and that's okay. You're allowed to go out and eat and enjoy, a meal of your choice or whatever. Have that slice of cake, whatever it is that you like, that you miss, that you want, go have it. It's not going to hurt anything. Just the next day, go back to eating clean. And I'm going to share with you Whole30. Now, I know a lot of you have heard about this diet or way of eating. And it's basically, what you do on Whole30 is you eliminate the processed foods, grains, dairy, sugar. Sugar, for me, is my enemy. I discovered that after doing 30 days of Whole30, the moment I went back and ate something that had sugar in it, not only did the tumors in my feet flare up, my eyes started swelling. And it shocked me. I had no idea that sugar was doing that to my body. And I go on this once a year. I did it in 2017, I did it in 2018, and I actually missed 2019. I didn't mean to. I had all intentions of doing it when my garden was in full swing, but if you've been following my channel for very long, you know that last summer at the end of July, my garden got hit by a massive hailstorm, and it stripped it pretty much. But me being me, I wasn't going to give up, and I nurtured my little garden back to health, and it grew beautiful. I mean, it really did grow beautiful. It was like one of the hottest summers on record last year, and all of my tomato blooms would just drop and fall, and I hardly got any tomatoes, red ones. However, by the time the first part of October come around, my plants were loaded with green tomatoes, and I got lots of salsa verde canned up from it, but I didn't get a whole lot of stuff from my garden, and I was kind of discouraged. And then my husband, we made the change that we spoke about with him going back to New Mexico and taking this job that he was offered. And so I just had a lot on my plate trying to get him moved there and just keeping a balance in our life. I didn't get back on the diet. So about 2 weeks ago, I got back on the diet, and I've started eating clean again. It's been rough. I won't even lie to you. It's been really rough. I think my body's pretty toxic, and but I'm starting to see the changes right now. And Friday, my middle son came to visit, and I was telling him, what I'm doing again, and I happened to pull my foot up, and I was telling his fiance about my tumors, and I pulled my foot up and looked at them. You guys, they've shrunk again. I'm like, what? woo! They shrunk again. And I that all by itself is amazing to me. Right now I'm kind of broke out. I got zits on my neck and on my chin, and that's all the toxins coming out. And I don't like that part, but I know it's only 30 days. And basically what you do after your 30 days of eating clean is you introduce things back into your system one at a time, food groups. And you get to choose whatever it is that you want. Then you get to choose and add it back into your diet. And in that way, you just say, for instance, I'll tell you, for me, it's corn tortillas. That's pretty much the first thing that I want to eat in my meals, is because I love tacos. I'm a born and raised New Mexican, and tacos is a staple. Enchiladas, anything with a corn tortilla for me. I can do without the flour tortillas, but I need my corn tortillas. And I had no issues whatsoever eating corn tortillas. You can always develop an allergy later on to a food, but for me, every time I've done it, corn tortillas, I'm just fine. Dairy, like cheese, it doesn't bother me. But if I have my coffee creamer, which has 5 grams of sugar in it, then my eyes start swelling. So it was shocking to me to see what it did to my body when I would eat it. And I like to stay away from it now. I don't always. I don't. I mean, I've gone off of it for quite some time now, and I know it's why I don't feel so good. But being on this has really, truly changed my life. And I know doing it, I know I feel so much better, and that's what keeps me going back and doing it. And this year, I'm really trying to grow my garden again. Hopefully I won't get wiped out by another hailstorm, but I want to eat as much fresh vegetables as I possibly can out of my garden. And then we got some organic meat, and we got organic meat, and with my garden coming up, I want to grow as much as I possibly can to preserve so that we have it through the winter. And in light of all the recent events that has been happening, I think it is a great idea to try and preserve and store up everything that I can possibly store up from my garden. However, so I really do want to recommend reading this book if you are interested in doing something different for your health, and go online and read the testimonies and what people have to say about it and how it has changed and helped them. They can tell you about their blood pressure and all the medications that they're getting off of. 2 of the medications I got off of was gabapentin, and that was it's a medication that helps like numb the nerves, and then Flexeril, which is a muscle relaxer. And Flexeril literally turns me into a walking zombie, and I kid you not. My family truly thinks that I'm mad at them when I take it. Everybody, they all think I'm mad because I don't talk. It's too much of an effort, and I'm not kidding you. And I was on the lowest dosage, and then they said, well, cut it in half. So I cut it in half. Didn't matter. It didn't matter. It was too much of an effort for me to even move my mouth. And of course, I'm sure my husband liked that at some certain times. I just didn't want to answer anything. I didn't want to talk to people because I was too tired. I just wanted to sleep. And then when I got up, it was an effort, and I can't stand that feeling. I mean, I don't have to take Flexeril when I'm on Whole30. The inflammation in my feet and in those tumors go down, and there's no sense in it. There's no sense in taking it. So it's been wonderful. And the energy level that it creates is just crazy. Now, I haven't quite hit that peak on my energy level yet, and that's coming. It should hit this week. And that's one good thing about it, is this book breaks it down in here. It breaks it down by what days you're going to feel what, and everybody's body is different. So, on day 4 and 5, you read what you might experience on those days. Well, you may experience that on 6 or 7 or 2, or 3, day 3, day 6, It's just a general guideline of what to expect to happen to your body as you're on it. It's not so restrictive that you can't do it. I've heard people, just last week, I work with a gentleman, when I told him you couldn't have grains, like, you had to eliminate bread and pasta, and, well, he's an Italian. And I mean, he grew up in Little Italy and New York, and it's all about pasta, and he's like, well, I can't do that. I could never give up my pasta. And I'm like, it's only 30 days. It's not that hard, people. It's not that hard. You can do anything for 30 days. It's hard to have a baby. It's hard to fight cancer. It's hard to give up a drug addiction. Eating healthy for 30 days is not hard. And after 2 weeks, and you feel the difference, it just makes it that much easier. And I will probably do this for the rest of my life. I can't even imagine doing anything different than this. It's back to the way God designed it. He didn't design us to eat fast food. He designed us to eat out of a garden. And that's what I'm doing. I just wanted to share that with you. And I did a lot of prepping to get ready for this. And I think that if you fail to plan, then you just plan to fail, period. If you don't put in the work to do something and to do it right, then you're just headed for disaster. For me, I make my lunches ahead of time. So on the 3 days that I work, I can just reach in the refrigerator and grab my lunch, put it in my lunch box. I make 3 lunches for my mom, because she shouldn't be operating the stove while I'm gone, with her eyesight being as poor as it is. Trust me, we've had some issues. She doesn't need to be cooking while I'm not here. She too can just reach in and pull out a salad or whatever it is that I left for her lunch, and we prep and prepare for this. And it's so much easier to stay on track when you do that. I made 2 different types of butternut squash soup. I did one with curry and turmeric, and then I did another one where I used coconut oil to saute my butternut squash, and then I used coconut milk and cinnamon. So 2 totally different flavors. I bagged it all up and I froze it, and now I just reach in. If it says, I put on there 2 servings or 1 serving. If it's a 1 serving, I just take it to work, pour it into a little bowl when I'm there, stick it in the microwave, and I eat that at work. And my mom, she's right here, she could thaw hers out, she can put hers in the microwave, and it's just an easy way to stay on, is by prepping and being ready for it. But if you have any health issues and you've tried everything that you can think of, including your doctor, and you just don't feel like you're making a whole lot of headway, I recommend that you at least try this. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not, it's nothing that's going to harm you. It's very healthy, and it works. It truly, truly works. I love talking to Joy and her telling me all the different things that it has done that, I'm not experiencing, but she's experiencing. And because she's different and her body's different than mine, and things that I experience, she doesn't experience. So we both experience different things, but neither one of us are disappointed in the results that we're getting. I don't believe that I will do any other kind of diet. This is going to be my way of eating from here on out, and I like it because it's going to be coming out of my garden, and it's worth it. It is straight up worth it. So thanks for joining me today and listening to my story. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like if you would, please. And we will catch you on the next go around. You have a great day. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.